Well, hey folks, Real with John Redlands, my review of New Japan Pro Wrestling's World Tag League Night 11 event, and this was enjoyable. It's much like Night 10, and it gives us a thumbs up, enjoyable, and a big thank you as always, Jen, for sending me that. I really do appreciate it. The poll's going to be up here. Let me know what you guys thought of the show, and I'll give my grade at the end. I will also give the point totals for the teams at the end of this review. I also want to say the live reviews I will be able to do. I don't know about the VOD shows. There are VOD editions on Monday and Tuesday. Sometimes I'm very busy on those days, so if I'm unable to review those, I do apologize in advance. But live shows for sure, and especially on the 9th, I'm going to make sure to review that because the finals and the card that they're going to have underneath it. So, anyway, huge enthusiasm for the Japanese announce team. Even if I still don't understand what they're saying, it's still great just how into it they get. So we have Shota Umino and Ayato Yoshida versus Hinare and Makabe to start off. This is a bit short. Ayato and Shota did have a good showing. Hit some good moves and everything, but it was a bit short. Hinare ends up pinning Shota with a Samoan drop for the 1-2-3, and it was fine. It was fine for what it was. It wasn't anything special, but it's nice to see Hinare have some good performances here and be able to pick up some pinfalls, as I think he's got star written all over him. Even if it's going to take maybe till 2020 to fully realize that, he's getting there. He's getting there. Maybe he'll never be world champion, but I think he could be a fine IC or US champion. Who knows? Who knows? It's very possible. But anyway, so yeah, Hinare and Makabe get the victory, and then we go to Chucky T and Beretta versus Nagata and Nakanishi. And after what happened yesterday, where Chucky T went absolutely insane, a lot of people were thinking that Chucky T could be the mole that Jay White spoke of, the moles in chaos. It's very possible, but I almost think, I don't know. He probably is, but what if this is just to throw us off from somebody else in chaos? Like maybe Ospreay could be that. Maybe Ospreay could be the mole. Who knows? I mean, he's been out injured for a while. They could work that into the angle. Who knows what's going to happen? But anyway, Chucky T had a very, very kind of, almost Joker, like crazy smile on his face, and Beretta even seemed thrown off. Everybody seemed thrown off. But he was much more aggressive here, and I think that's nice if they want to. I'm not saying break up the team, but if they want to add a little bit more of an edge, a little bit more of a dynamic, wouldn't hurt to have Chucky T show a little bit more of an aggressive side. The vets, of course, use strength. Nagata and Nakanishi is super strong. Nakanishi did do a dive outside. That was a little scary. Probably shouldn't have done that. But whatever, it's his career. There was a cool double submission spot by the vets early on. Nakanishi and Beretta were outside. They were actually, towards the entranceway. And Chucky T ends up getting a roll-up on Nagata for the 1-2-3. And Chucky T's celebrating. Everybody's happy. Chucky T's still got that unhinged feel about him. And Beretta's kind of wondering what's going on. But the best friends do pick up a victory, so they're still in contention. And then we get Tenzan and Kojima versus Juice and Finlay. No moonsault from Tenzan, unlike what we got from from Night 10. I still can't believe that we saw that, or that I saw that. That was great stuff, though. But anyway, Juice and Finlay are a goddamn delight. Really good tag work. You can really tell they have a whole lot of fun teaming up. Kojima just hitting chops, breaking bread, and breaking capillaries by hitting, chests really, really hard. So, yeah, that's what, and Kojima's still super over. Everybody really played their roles just fine here. Couple good near falls, but in the end, Pulp Friction on Kojima for the 1-2-3, and Juice pins Kojima, and FinJuice is staying in contention as well. It's a lot of really good teams. Some of the teams, it's pretty obvious, are falling behind, that are not going to be in contention, especially as we get to, I think there's 5 more shows. There's 3 live shows and then 2 VOD shows. And if that's the case, then pretty damn obvious what teams are eliminated. But it's going to be really interesting. We're going to know by Sunday, by the show that's coming Sunday, so in a couple days, who is going to ultimately be totally out, if it's going to be down to 6 teams or whatever. But anyway, so FinJuice does get the victory, and then we go to Hangman Page and Yujiro Takahashi versus Minoru Suzuki and Iizuka. And attack before the bells outside, dives by Page and Yujiro. Of course, the match goes in the crowd. Oh, what? I'm shocked. And then Suzuki takes the bell hammer from the timekeeper, and while the ref is down, hits Yujiro in the head with it because stop hammer time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that. That joke sounded a lot better in my head. It actually sounded terrible in my head, but I went with it anyway. But of course, Suzuki is going to make anything goofy like that work. Hangman is just flat out ridiculous. There was some good action in this. Hangman just hitting some dives, continuous fluidity with his moves, nice buckshot lariat. But in the end, you see Minoru Suzuki hit the Gotch pile driver on Yujiro for the 1-2-3, and Suzuki and Iizuka pick up a victory, a much needed victory, even though they're kind of on the bubble of being able to survive and win. They're not going to win World Tag League. They're obviously not, but still. It's nice to get some good matches out of it like this. So far we got some pretty good matches. And then we get to a match that I didn't think was going to be that good. I thought it would be decent. This turned out to actually be pretty damn fun. And then things got better as they went along. KES versus Taichi and Zack Sabre Jr. Archer getting in Taichi's face saying, oh, you're a heavyweight now. You're a heavyweight. And, like just kind of blistering him and everything, trying to bully him. And then they end up going in the stands. Like you have Taichi was just like, okay, I'm just gonna outrun him, and he runs up into the stands, and Archer's like, you come down here, and Taichi's like, you come up here. At least I assume that's what Taichi's saying since I don't speak Japanese. But it was just kind of funny. Like Archer goes up in the stands, and Taichi comes back around and gets in the ring, and the referee starts counting. The referee always waits like 2 minutes before he starts counting just to make sure, I guess, everybody could get back to the ring. Archer, at one point, I think it's about like 17 or 18, gets tangled up a bit. 19, and the referee has to delay it because they have to continue the match. And it's not hugely noticeable, and it's nobody's fault. I mean, thankfully Archer's okay. It just looked like, it was a bit of a messy spot. But anyway, then you get Sabre Jr. and Davey Boy Smith brawling with some really good wrestling, as you would expect with these two fantastic athletes. Good work by all four. Taichi and Sabre Jr. in particular are a really shockingly good tag team. And I know they're in Suzuki-gun, but just because they're in the same faction doesn't mean that the best chemistry is going to be had when they team up. But still, they've done pretty damn well. But a killer bomb on Taichi for the 1-2-3, and KES gets 2 more points. So yeah, there's quite a few people. Instead of everybody dies, it should be everybody tied. Everybody's tied. That'd be an interesting rendition of Killer Elite Squad's theme. But yeah, so that happened. Good match. And then we get to Jeff Cobb and Michael Elgin versus Tomohiro Ishii and Yano. This was terrific. This was a lot of fun. I don't know if any of these World Tag League matches are going to be on my favorite matches of the year list. I do have a top 25 that I'm going to compile. And I'm probably just going to compile it after like the 9th because I don't think the Road to Tokyo Dome shows are going to have anything blow away. But anyway, World Tag League has had a few standout matches in particular, and this would be one of them. I'm not a fan of Elgin, but Cobb is flat out ridiculous, tremendous athlete. Yano being Yano, doing his antics and everything, as you would expect. Give me a Tomohiro Ishii and Jeff Cobb feud now. I need it now or I need it yesterday. In all seriousness, I think they would have a great feud. It's great mix of humor and wrestling, as you would expect. I mean, Yano can actually wrestle, but he gets some good humor in there. There was a double German suplex spot where Elgin and Cobb hit dueling German suplexes. Great power exchanges, some great near falls. Elgin and Ishii just slugging out. Ishii and Cobb slugging it out. There was some good exchange between Elgin and Ishii, even though I'm not fond of Elgin in general. This was still a pretty good finish. And then, even though I thought Elgin was going to pick up the victory, nope, vertical drop brainbuster for the 1-2-3. And pinning Elgin is the right call. Cobb should not be taking that many L's, as Cobb is certainly on the ascent. And Elgin should be, quite frankly, jobbed out. So yeah, Ishii and Yano get 2 more points. And then we get to Sonata and Evil versus Tamatonga and Tonga Loa. And this was a lot of fun. There was some good action with it. Yeah, the usual Jado antics. But who can out-heal the other? And it turns out it's Gorillas. But we go into the crowd. There were so many times where they went into the crowd. I think half the matches went into the goddamn crowd. The Gorillas did zero in on Sonata for a while. You did get a hot tag from Evil. He got some good moves in. Sonata, and I apologize, by the way. I'm kind of dealing with some allergies, so I'm sorry if my voice sounded a little bit off. And I've also been up for about 20 hours. And I cut a review. And by the way, cheap plug really, really quick before I finish this. I did do a review of The Possession of Hannah Grace movie. Just feel free to check that out on this channel after you watch this. But anyway, very good tag flow. Sonata, of course, hating some ridiculous stuff, but his knee came into play after missing a moonsault and then trying to flip out of a move, jammed his knee, and that came back into play. And you got a super bomb off the ropes, super power bomb off the ropes, and Tonga Loa pins Sonata for the 1-2-3. So the Gorillas of Destiny get 2 more points. Everybody's kind of neck and neck on this. Evil and Sonata were in the driver's seat, but losing this means some teams are tied with them, and I'll get to that here in just a bit. Then we get to the finishing 8-man tag. It's pretty. Remember the 6-man tag that happened on night 10? If you did watch it, or if you remember that I described it in the review, it's basically just the same. It's basically the same guys there. It's Okada, Tanahashi, and Kushida, but Rocky Romero is also on their side because Chaos. Jay White, Bad Luck Fale, Ishimori, and Gato. And of course, Gato's there. It's just Wrestle Kingdom 13 hype. It was a war from the very beginning. They're brawling all over. They shouldn't even bother ringing the bell. Just let them brawl for 15 minutes, ring the bell, and then somebody could pin somebody, and then there you go. I mean, because really, with the amount of heat these guys have with each other, they just should be able to get out there and just beat each other up. Tanahashi was focused on for a bit. You did have Okada at one point getting tagged in and attacking Gato. That was really nice. He did try to attack Jay White but did get blindsided and then got attacked by Jay White for a while. Kushida and Ishimori fight, hyping up their match for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship at Wrestle Kingdom. Tanahashi and Okada teaming up for just a little bit and having some really good chemistry. It's going to be interesting to see what happens post Wrestle Kingdom if neither of them win. Like if Tanahashi doesn't win the gold, what's going to happen? Who knows? But in the end, Bloody Cross on Rocky Romero for the 1-2-3. And then there's a beatdown of, Okada's team, Chaos with Tanahashi there. And then they kind of get the advantage, the faces do. And then all of a sudden, because, the heels won, the team that wins gets to, or, whoever wins the main event gets to cut a promo at the end. Jay White cuts the same typical thing. It's a cutthroat era. You will breathe with Switchblade, and there we go. So, yeah, that's pretty much the end of that. Now I'm going to get to the point totals, and I'm going to wrap up this review. But I will say, I'm going to give it a B. It's just a bit below Night 10, but I think there's some really good seeds being planted, especially with the best friends and stuff like that. So now, let's get to the point totals. Evil and Sonata at 12. Cobb and Elgin at 8. Makabe and Hanare at 6. Tenzan and Kojima at 6. Beretta and Chucky T at 10. Ayato and Shota still winless at 0. They may not actually win a match. They got, I think a few more. Oh boy. They don't have that many more shows. They may not win anything. I don't know. They'll win something on the last night. Watch. The last night tournament action. But anyway, Nagata and Nakanishi with just 2 points. Suzuki and Izuka with 8. Page and Yujiro with 6. Ishii and Yano with 12. Juice and Finley with 10. KES with 10. Tomatonga Tongaloa with 12. And Sabre Jr. and Taichi with 10. So yeah, it's really looking like by the time we get to Monday or Tuesday, it's going to be so damn obvious probably who the finalists are. But that's all I have to say about that. So B, again, the poll is up there. I'm going to start putting those at the beginning of the videos. If you watch these videos when they first go up and there isn't a poll, I do apologize. I usually put them up after I wake up. But anyway, do you agree? Do you disagree with what I said? Are you still going with your pick? Like some people have gone with Evil and Sonata. Have you decided to change your picks? Do you think that there's a possibility another team may win? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the descriptions. But real honesty with John Riplin, and I will see you soon.